the time, I'll remind our listeners, so hopefully a few of them will sign up and play in this event in April.
Well, thank you very much.
Well, thank you so much, and congratulations.
Thank you.
All righty, bye-bye. What we're going to do is we're going to take one more quick break, and then we're going to be talking a little bit about this new concept from Marriott, their Innovation Lab at the Charlotte Marriott City Center with the general manager, Chrissy Wright. You don't want to miss it, so stay tuned for more of the Golf and Travel Show. We'll be right back.
Cinderella story, out of nowhere, a former greenskeeper now about to become the Masters champion. It looks like I'm a wreck. It's in the hole!
I ride fly, call me chocolate thunder, and I got good two going 4 strokes under. Get out the way if you want.
And we are back in time for one more message from our sponsor, Labor Finders. If your business needs industrial workers or if you're looking for work, you got to call Labor Finders. Labor Finders places for temporary or temporary to hire opportunities for skilled, semi-skilled, or general labor positions such as plumbers, electricians, concrete workers, forklift operators, hospitality workers, office clerical, and so much more. Labor Finders has almost 200 offices nationwide. Near here in Homestead, Boca Raton, near Boca Raton, they have offices in Homestead, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, West Palm Beach, Jupiter, and in Charlotte, North Carolina. So if you need legal insured workers or if you want to work, call Labor Finders toll free at 800-864-7749. That's 800-864-7749 or visit laborfinders.com.
Well, alright, so I'm being foolish. Well, alright, let people know about the dreams and wishes you wish in the night when lights are low. Well, alright,
and we are back, and thanks to Buddy Holly for introducing Miss Wright for me, or all right, I guess. All right, maybe that's a stretch. But in any event, Marriott, I stay at their places often, all their different brands around the country. I always enjoy my stays. They do a great job, and they don't want to get stale, it seems, so they decide to have these huge mergers with the other giant competitors and develop new brands so people like myself never get bored. So I did want to find out a little bit more about what's going on in Charlotte. It is a place that I do get to visit from time to time and always enjoy it. But to find out what the Marriott Innovation Lab at Charlotte Marriott City Center is all about, nobody better than their general manager to tell us, and that would be Chrissy Wright. Chrissy, are you there?
I am here.
Well, thank you so much for joining us.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me, Dan.
It is a pleasure, and I had heard about this transformation a couple of months ago, and your grand reopening, I guess, maybe happened a week or two or so ago. So fortunately for us, now we can have some hindsight and hear how it all went and what it was all about. So before we go too far, I always like to ask my guests a little bit about themselves first. So why don't you tell us all perhaps where you were in the hospitality industry, what brought you to Marriott, and perhaps how long you've been in Charlotte?
Absolutely. So, again, my name is Chrissy Wright. I have been really with Marriott I say my entire life. My mom spent 35 years with the company, and so I kind of grew up in it and went to college in Nashville, Tennessee. And after graduating, relocated to Atlanta for about 20 years with Marriott. So this is all I know, and it's been a fabulous almost 25 years next year with the company. So most of my career in Atlanta, I transitioned to Charlotte 18 months ago to work on this project for Marriott, and it's been a phenomenal road, and can't wait to share it with you.
Well, I'm very interested to hear. Now, obviously, this is the first location, I guess, that this experiment, so to speak, has happened at. So why don't you talk, I guess, a little bit kind of step by step about the kinds of changes versus your previous, city center hotel there, how it's evolved and what's actually been done to make it different.
Sure. Yeah, so we started on this journey with Marriott probably 3 years ago, really to reinvent the flagship brand, so the Marriott brand for the hotel. So over the past 3 years, Marriott actually purchased this building, this hotel, in August of 2013, and really began the journey on how do we create and deliver different experiences with multi-generational appeal. As you know, the travelers, and we have all generations traveling right now, and so. We started out on that journey a couple of years ago, and like you said, we had our grand opening on October 11th, and it was phenomenal. So a little bit about the Beta Hotel. So it's, like you said, it's our first in the company. So our hotel is actually like a live lab for the company. So when we have new concepts and initiatives and innovations that are developed or begin to create out of our headquarters, our hotel is where they bring those initiatives or innovations to, and we test them in a live test environment with a hotel that's running, and work through to decide or determine, does it make sense to scale some of these initiatives globally in the Marriott brand, or is it something specific to Charlotte or a type of the Marriott brand type of hotel? So in Charlotte, it's completely different. So it starts at arrival. When you come to the front desk, you're a seasoned traveler, so you know what the front desk typically looks like.
Sure.
We've created an experience where it's very what we're calling kind of high tech, high touch. So all of our associates have tablets that they check you in on. It's no longer the computer terminals. It's a very flexible space, so we really give you choices how you want to check in. You can check in the lobby, you can check in our M Club, or at on the front drive, at the Porte Cochere whenever you arrive, or we have the option to do mobile key, which I don't know if you've had experience with it yet, but
I have.
You can use your mobile device to be as your room key.
Mm-hmm.
And so, a lot of our customers are taking that option. So you never even come by the front desk. You just, check in on the Marriott app, Rewards app, and then it will send you your key electronically. So customer feedback on that has been great. I think guests still want to interact with our associates, but it's at their leisure. It's not right when you check in. So we have, a host that are available all the time, but it gives the guests an option.
Wait, before you go too far, let me try and narrow this down. So out of all of the changes that you've done, what is the one thing that has gotten the most incredible reception or surprise reception, and perhaps the one thing that maybe you thought was going to just be amazing and maybe wasn't exactly what you thought?
Okay, so what's been the most amazing? Two components. The guest room, completely different than what you see in our typical Marriott hotels. We've redesigned it, more modern design with more architectural elements. Fantastic. I think what I'm most excited about is our food and beverage offering. So we have this immersive kitchen that, if I don't know if you've seen pictures yet, but
I did see one picture.
Fabulous, open kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
Most of our tables, you can see into the kitchen to see what the chefs are doing. They come out, visit the table, so it's very open, and it's not like you can just view in there. There's actually a lot of engagement with our guests through the culinary team. So that's phenomenal. And then our coffee shop, which I think you have a picture on the Facebook page, of Coco and the Director, which has been the biggest win for us. And really, all of these food and beverage spaces are focused around not only the hotel guests but the local community, and it's been a huge opportunity in the community. I think we have over 1,000 Facebook likes on Stoke and Coco and the Director, which are our two outlets. So it's really gotten a lot of PR and recognition in the community, which we're really excited about.
Now, I noticed in some of the information that came from the folks at Marriott that they're preparing for Gen Z. So that's okay. but I'm like a baby boomer. So, I mean, have you had guests of other generations, and have they grasped the concept as well?
Absolutely. I think what I love about this hotel and this concept is we're listening to everyone. We have live beta buttons in the hotel where guests can give immediate feedback. And so there are going to be things that we change, but I will tell you the feedback across all generations, from baby boomers to Gen Y or millennials, has been extremely positive about the direction that Marriott's going as a brand. So it's really been very well received.
Now, so this is in Charlotte. Now, is Charlotte considered, at least for the hospitality industry, a place where marketing testing is done? I mean, my day job, I'm a marketer, and I know places like Cleveland or Toledo or typically where companies introduce new things. So is it typical for a hotel brand to choose Charlotte?
I think Charlotte was it's such a young and vibrant city. You have so many of millennials in Charlotte. The banking industry is here, and so there was just a lot of great demand for this urban hotel. And quite honestly, it was at the time for sale, and Marriott wanted to purchase a hotel. It was for sale, and it was a 30-year-old building that we really wanted to transform into more relevant space, and so it was a perfect fit for Marriott.
Now, you talk about Charlotte, and I visit Charlotte, from time to time on business, and I always like the vibe in the city, and there's a couple of restaurants that I like, and I like to walk around, and I know that the NASCAR Hall of Fame or museum is there or something.
Mm-hmm.
But I've never really acted like a tourist in the town. So if somebody was to come and stay in downtown Charlotte, what is it that surrounds you that the average person, has to go do and see?
Sure. What I love about our hotel is we're walking distance within the Panther Stadium. So if you love football,
mm-hmm.
We have the Knight Stadium, which is our AAA baseball team, which is phenomenal. And the ambiance and the environment there is amazing. We're in walking distance to that. We're in walking distance to the new Spectrum Arena, previously Time Warner Cable Arena.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's so many sporting activities that are in Charlotte. There's also a ton of arts and culture museums that are in walking distance to our hotel, as well as great nightlife, great restaurants, and entertainment in uptown Charlotte.
Now, when you talk about restaurants and you talk about entertainment, is there something that is just typical Charlotte?
Gosh, when you talk about restaurants, I mean, barbecue is typical, is a...
Sure, North Carolina.
North Carolina,
mm-hmm.
Yeah, North Carolina
yep.
is made for, but breweries too.
Yep.
We have a ton of local craft breweries in Charlotte that are very popular. We ourselves at the hotel have 24 beers on tap, which 19 of those are craft local beers.
Now, this whole... grand reinvigoration of this building and of the brand and everything. How is that actually affecting business? I mean, are people seeking you out more because of your uniqueness and newness? Are you just always crowded? And are people also who are staying there, are they happy about this opportunity to provide this live kind of feedback that you're requesting?
Sure. I think, I would say the market that we are in, Charlotte's a great market, but we believe that this product and the service deliveries that we have spent the last 18 months creating obviously are creating even higher demand for our hotel. If you look at all of our key measurements from a financial standpoint, we are doing extremely well in fourth quarter of this year coming out of renovations, and then of course in 2017 looks great both for the hotel and for the city. So I think it's a combination, right? And we wanted, when we started this whole journey, we wanted to pick a hotel that was performing well. You can pick a hotel that's not performing at all and see the upside after a renovation, but we wanted to pick a hotel that was already doing well. And so we know that this is only helping our growth from a revenue perspective. And yeah, I think the customers love they love to be able to give real-time feedback and to really feel like they're a part of this journey with us. Which is what we want them to feel, that they have the ability to shape the future of the Marriott brand.
So for this time of year and looking forward, are there some events, cool things going on, special packages, or anything that our listeners might be interested in knowing about?
For our hotel specifically, we spend we don't have significant amount of packages, but there's always things to do in Charlotte, right? So, like I said, if you love sporting events, we have them all the time. If you love the arts and the cultural environment, we have tons of museums and things like that. So, I would encourage you to visit our website, and I think it's posted on your Facebook page. as well. But visit it, any of the listeners to visit it, and come spend a weekend in Charlotte. You will not be disappointed. It's such a great setting.
One last thing I wanted to ask you about, too, before we run out of time. I'm right now making a wedding for my daughter at a hotel. Unfortunately, it's your competitor this time, although her bat mitzvah was at a Courtyard by Marriott, so I'm equal. I spend money at all the hotels. But how about as far as special events, parties, weddings, gatherings? Do you have facilities to handle that as well?
Sure, absolutely. So we have over 20,000 square feet of meeting space, and we do a significant amount of weddings in the hotel, bar mitzvah, all the social events we certainly can accommodate. So please let us know if any listeners, if you guys need anything in Charlotte, we can certainly take care of your needs.
And if people, I'm guessing the easiest way to find you besides going to facebook.com/The Golf and Travel Show, they could also go to Marriott.com and just look you up as Charlotte City Center.
Yeah, or CharlotteMarriottCityCenter.com.
There you go. All right. Well, thank you so much. Like I say, I was really curious myself because I do spend so much time at Marriott's all over the country, and you are certainly amongst my favorite brand. And therefore, when I heard about something brand new, I was curious, and it's always best to find out from the person who really knows it the best. So we appreciate you coming on board.
Absolutely, and we appreciate you letting us join your show today. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you, Chrissy. All right, what we're going to do is we're going to take one last break, and then I got some little bit more travel news and a bunch of deals for you. You don't want to miss it, so stay tuned for more of the Golf and Travel Show. We'll be right back.
Trailer for sale or rent, rooms to let 50 cents, no phone, no pool, no pets, ain't got no cigarettes, but 2 hours of pushing broom buys a 8 by 12 4-bedroom. I'm a man of means by no means, king of the road.
And we are back. And, sometimes I feel like the king of the road. This is my busy travel season that I'm heading into. And, as I mentioned, I will be in North Carolina, but in the Asheville area in a month or so, and, going to check out the Blue Ridge Mountains and, the whole Asheville area. So I'm looking forward to that. I do enjoy going to North Carolina. They've got nice things to see, beautiful, terrain, some great barbecue, and just some really warm people. So, that's what I look forward to most. I'm also heading out to San Diego in the next few days, so that'll be fun as well. I always enjoy heading out to the West Coast. It's a little bit different out there, a lot less humidity than Florida, so it's nice to get some of that cool, fresh air off the Pacific. I also enjoy the seafood off the Pacific, and the cooking out there in California and San Diego is excellent, so I'm looking forward to that as well. Another topic that I wanted to touch on briefly before I hit you with some of my deals is something that we've been talking about for a while, and that's travel to Cuba. And my favorite airline is kind of really upping the ante when it comes to Cuba, and that will be Southwest Airlines. They now have flights from Fort Lauderdale, just up the road from where I'm sitting, round trip for as little as $149 to Havana or Varadero, Cuba. And it seems that with all of these airlines coming on board with so many seats hitting the market that, the market's a little bit soft. So, actually they're advertising the flights to Cuba is only $59, but unfortunately due to the different taxes, they start at $91 coming back. So hence the $149. But, these are, with 14-day advance purchase, and there's a couple other rules. It's through November 20th, so you got to hurry, but it may get extended. Again, it's all a matter of supply and demand. Keep in mind that we've also spoken a little bit about the hotels. It's not easy to get hotels because so many people from so many cities in the U.S. are flying there, as well as all the international traffic. A lot of people have suggested using sites like Airbnb and staying in people's homes in Cuba because, that's their version of capitalism. That's how they can make an extra buck or two. And from what I understand, that there are some lovely homes that you can stay in with the local folks from Cuba there really treating you well. And you get a different perspective and an opportunity to learn a lot more when you can stay in somebody's home as opposed to a hotel. So keep all that into consideration. But, obviously I enjoy flying on Southwest, and those kinds of rates are what they should be. I mean, when it was more restrictive, there were charters that you could take, under certain circumstances, and you were going to pay like 4, 5, 6 times as much for probably lousy service. So it's nice to see that market is opening up. It's always good for the consumer, of course, which is what I worry about. Speaking of the consumer, all of us, I always save some of the best things for last, which are some of my deals for you. I've got 3 of them for today. And as always, we typically like to start a little bit closer to home and try and kind of work our way further and further. Sometimes it's difficult for me because world geography, well, I'm okay, but, it sometimes gets a little dicey. But we're going to start out in a place that I know is the closest because it's in Florida. And this would be a really nice resort in a city that I enjoy going to. And typically, if I'm there on business, it might be in peak season. If I'm paying for it myself, it's more likely that it's going to be off season, because Naples can be a little bit pricey, especially if you want to stay at one of the nicer properties. So I got a nice property for you, with deals into December. So we're not talking about the dead off season, at 45% off. And I did find this on Travel Zoo, where I typically find a lot of my deals. And this is at the Naples Grand Beach Resort. So you are right there on the beach, a beautiful beach, I might add. The beaches in Naples are wonderful. And this hotel recently completed multi-millions of dollars in renovations. Families enjoy this place as well, from what I've heard and what I know. And on weekdays, like I say, on many, many nights, and I did check the availability, there are many nights that are available, as little as $149. And for an oceanfront upscale property in Naples into December, that is very, very inexpensive. Weekends are only $20 more, which is equally very cool, because, you would pay typically a lot this time of year. But not only that, it includes a daily $25 food and beverage credit that you're getting back. And eating and drinking in Naples can be a little bit pricey, so that is very, very cool. This is for a coastal view queen room with a Gulf view. You can also get a upgraded room for just slightly more, but still at a really discounted rate. You do have to hurry, like with most of these deals. They don't last forever. You have to book it by October 26th, so hurry up and get on this deal to the Naples Resort. As promised, we're going to take you from there to a little bit further, and in this particular case, it's considerably further. And we've been talking about this a lot. As a matter of fact, all of our deals, every week that I give you deals, I keep saying that this is just ridiculously inexpensive. It's never going to get any lower. Yet every week I keep finding deals that are better and better. So pretty soon they'll be paying us to go to some of these places, I think. But here it is again, 2 incredible cities, perhaps 2 of the most popular cities in all of Europe. Paris, where I have been, and Rome, where I have not. I've been to Italy, but not Rome. I've been to northern Italy. Here is a deal that is a really, really good deal. Also found on Travel Zoo as well. And it's a 6-night trip that's happening soon. This is a fall trip, so you can't waste too much time. It includes round-trip airfare into Paris and out of Rome. It includes your flight from Paris to Rome. It includes 3 nights lodging in Paris, 3 nights lodging in Rome, daily breakfast, although if you change hotels, you may not always, but most of them do include breakfast. All your airfare is included. All your hotel taxes are included. There are dates available, several dates in November and in December. This is for departure from New York City, starting at $766 per person. That is incredible. That is less than it used to cost to just fly from New York to Paris, no less, coming back from Rome, the flight in between, hotels, breakfasts, taxes. I mean, this is just ridiculous. Obviously, these are decent hotels, but there are opportunities to upgrade if you want to. And this one does not expire until November 2nd, so you have what seems to be a little bit of extra time, but beware. The longer you wait, a lot of times these dates will sell out. They've got November 23rd, 26th, 27th, and December 4th, 5th, 7th, and 11th available at these prices. You can, through them, actually fly from Miami if you prefer, but it's a $400 upgrade. So if it was me and it's only a 6-night trip to Europe, I would just fly on my own up to New York. You can get flights for around $200 round trip. Maybe spend a day or two in New York on either side if you want, and that would probably be more economical. Or if you'd rather fly out of Miami, you could do that as well. So again, on Travel Zoo, starting at $766, 6 nights, lodging, airfare, and a bunch of other things in Paris and Rome. Sounds like a pretty good deal to me. Last but not least, another deal for Europe, but this time it's a cruise. So a little bit different. This is a cruise that goes to France, Italy, Malta, and Spain. 7 nights, half price on MSC Cruises. It is $610, but that's for a balcony cabin. That is not an interior cabin. That is an incredible price for this. There are departures on December 11th, November 26th, December 3rd, January 7th, 14th, and 21st on two different, all on the same trip, the Splendida. You sail from either, depending on which date you go, Genoa, stopping in Rome, Palermo, Valletta, Barcelona, and Marseille. And you may have it in a different order on different dates. It's part of a larger sale on all of MSC Cruises, so if that's not exactly what you want, then you can get some others. But for a balcony, $610, 7 nights, is under $100 a night. Remember, this includes all of your meals and stuff, too, when you're on a cruise. So and oftentimes these really good deals are for interior cabins. I always mention if I were to ever do that and take my wife, she'd divorce me. So I hear our tune. So that means that I got to tell you, tune in well, first of all, check out Facebook.com/The Golf and Travel Show. Like the page, and you'll know who our guests are going to be. We'll be back next week, same time, same place. You won't want to miss it for more of The Golf and Travel Show. Talk to you then.
You have been listening to The Golf and Travel Show, hosted by Dan Shub, heard live every Friday, 7 to 8 p.m. on 1470 WWNN, and replayed every Sunday from 6 to 7 p.m. on 740 a.m. WSBR. Visit the show on Facebook and tune in next week. If you are in South Florida or traveling the world, hit 'em straight. The opinions expressed on the following sponsored program are strictly those of the host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of the station, its staff, management, or sponsors.
Me and my old lady ain't been getting along. Things don't get better, I'll soon be long gone. This situation is driving me insane. Somebody touch my coat hat and hand me my walking cane. Gotta put on my traveling shoes.
When I was little, I didn't talk for a long time. I liked things to always be the same. Anything new or different would scare and upset me. I was very sensitive to lights and sounds. It was almost like I had bigger eyes and ears than everyone else. So I built secret hiding places where nothing could get in. I didn't like looking people in the eye. It made me feel uncomfortable. I'd throw big tantrums over little things like when my socks didn't match. Sometimes I'd do the same things over and over. Until one day, I found out I had autism. My family got me help. Slowly, I learned how to live with it better.
You can see signs of autism in children as young as 18 months. Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org/signs. Brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
You use Tearless Baby Shampoo because it's gentle on your baby's eyes. You make sure his toys don't have any sharp edges. You always test the bath water to make sure it's not too hot. You taught her what to do when the smoke alarm goes off. You make sure she wears a helmet when she rides her bicycle. You put on his sunscreen, even when he's embarrassed his friends will see. You do so much to keep your child safe. But are you using the right car seat for your child? Is your child facing the right way in the car seat? Is the seat too big or too small? How do you know when it's time to move your child into the next type of seat? Car crashes are a leading killer of children ages 1 to 13. Protect your child's future at every stage of life. For information on the right seat for your child, visit safercar.gov/therightseat. That's safercar.gov/therightseat.
A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Oh, the book lover's heart. It's too healthy for words.
And the nature lover's heart? It flies high with the birds.
But the heart of someone with pulmonary hypertension, often misdiagnosed as asthma, is